Russia and the historic summit between President Donald Trump and President from Russia, Vladimir Putin, is now in the books. But not before Vladimir got an up-close look at the power, the sophistication, the strength, the might of the U.S. military with this incredible, perfectly timed flyover.
Oh boy!
A B-2 stealth bomber.
We flew jets overhead.
Stealth fighters.
Scared.
Following that epic show of force, for his very first post-summit interview, the president of our great country, sir, how are you?
Didn't take questions
you could be here
after the meeting, but he'll take them from Sean Hannity.
You said in terms of, their land is incredible. The rare earth, the oil, gas, everything. It's incredible. It's the largest piece of land in the world as a nation by far. I think they have 11 time zones, if you can believe it. That's big stuff. But we would have done a lot of great things, but we had the
first clue. Nothing was accomplished at this meeting. He starts by talking about Russia and its geography and its minerals. Okay.
Russia hoax, which stopped us from doing that.
There was the second clue. Now he's talking about Russia. He's starting to get out his old rally stump speeches now. Still nothing about what they talked about at this meeting about Ukraine.
There were others, like the election itself, as you know, as you covered better than anyone, but it was a rigged election and a horrible thing that took place in 2020 with the made-up Russia hoax. So
is this really happening? Is his first interview after a meeting with Putin on Ukraine, he's going back to griping about the election?
We had a very good meeting today, but we'll see. I mean, it's, you have to get a deal. We agreed on a lot of points. I want to see people stop dying.
Oh, okay. They had a really good meeting, folks. Everything's fine. Don't know what it was about or what they accomplished or anything they agreed to, but it's a good meeting.
In Ukraine, and that's what's happening. Well, these in towns where they're trying to blow up missile manufacturers and other things in some cities. I don't know if you know what's going on there, but there are a lot of people dying.
We heard.
And if we can end that war, it would be very good. And I was very happy to hear him say, if I was president, that war would have never happened.
Mr. President, that was my next question. He said at...
Now, we knew that was going to come up. I mean, he is so easily played, all right? So Putin at this press conference, he knows he's hitting Trump's funny bone with this one, that, the invasion wouldn't have happened if he was president. Yeah, okay. And he's just saying that because he knows that's what Trump wants to hear. I mean, he's so easily played. He's like an 8-year-old child. And I mean, this is no match for Putin's psychological control.
We had a very good meeting today, and I think a lot of points were negotiated on behalf of Ukraine and on behalf of the whole NATO situation, where we're dealing very well with a lot of foreign countries that are great, European countries. Look, as far as I'm concerned, there's no deal until there's a deal. But we did make a lot of progress. Very sincerely, I think he wants to see it done.
Yeah. In your press
wants
conference,
to see
you
what
about a lot of things.
Takeover of Poland,
and maybe one big.
See if we can get it done. It's not a done deal at all. Mm-hmm. And Ukraine has to agree. I mean, President Zelensky has to agree.
Wow! Oh gosh!
But it's a terrible war where he's
what do you know about that?
Both of them are.
Ukraine gets to say something about this. Isn't that nice?
Good chance of getting it done.
If you had to grade it on a scale of 1 to 10.
So I think the meeting was a 10 in the sense that we got along.
The meeting was a 10. He actually said that, folks. The meeting was a 10. I must say, even by Trump's standards of hyperbole, he is not even trying. He is not even trying to make this meeting sound like it was successful.
Respect for it. I was so happy when he said this would have never happened. All those lives would be saved if they had if we had a competent president.
Anybody who's studied Putin at all, and I have a fair amount. This guy is a psychological manipulator. It's it's the mirror strategy of a counterintelligence expert like him. You mirror what the other person is saying, and you tell them what they want to hear, and you figure out what their hot buttons are. Well, I'd call them their funny bone. And so in this case, Putin knows if he says that this wouldn't have happened if Trump had been president, he knows that's what Trump wants to hear, and he's going to love it. And listen to him just now. He's thrilled about that and has gotten completely distracted from the negotiation they were supposedly going to have. He just got played.
I have to go back. This is too historic and deep and profound. At a press conference, the president of Russia stated something that you had stated many, many times, and maybe people, your political opponents, might have dismissed. But he said, this war would not have taken place if you were president.
Folks, this is now the third time. This is the third time between the two of them they have brought this up, that Putin said the war wouldn't have happened if Trump was president, which is just a childish game that he's playing, to Trump's vanities, to soften him up for an easier negotiation, which apparently worked because they haven't said a thing in this interview about what actually was accomplished at this meeting.
And the job he's done in Social Security and making it really powerful and strong is amazing. And we've done that.
He wants to talk about everything except this meeting. That's pretty darn clear.
And Vladimir said just a little while ago, he said, I've never seen anybody do so much so fast. He said, your country is like hot as a pistol.
How can he be that stupid? How can he be so naive to think that what Putin is saying to him is real? He's getting played. I mean, it's right here on its face how Putin has played him. The counterintelligence former KGB agent. This isn't even difficult for Putin. He's had a lot tougher jobs than this one.
Let me go back to this issue of Ukraine and Russia for a second.
Oh,
most people, as they analyze this from the outside,
imagine that. Imagine that. Oh, we're going to talk about Ukraine now after 30 minutes, which is what this was supposed to be all about. The meeting where apparently nothing actually happened.
This is how almost everybody's kind of universal thinking, how this ends. There's going to be some land swaps. There will be more Russian territory than there had been. And what Ukraine wants and needs desperately is our security measures that won't be NATO related. If you had to look into your crystal ball, is that how it ends?
Well, I think those are points that we negotiated, and those are points that we largely have agreed on. Now it's really up to President Zelensky to get it done. And I would also say the European nations, they have to get involved a little bit, but it's up to President Zelensky. I think we're pretty close to it. Yeah. Now, look, Ukraine has to agree to it. Maybe they'll say no.
Oh, here we go, folks. Here's the setup. Whatever he and Putin come up with, if they don't agree to it, if Ukraine doesn't agree to it, it's going to be all their fault. Yep, that's where we're headed.